What is going on, you guys? It is Unsweetened Tea here, back again with another video. And a lot of you guys have been asking if I was making videos again, or like if I was alive in general. So obviously my channel has grown tenfold in the last couple months, and I'll make a video explaining everything that's been going on, where I've been, X, Y, and Z. But right now, it is the Halloween season, and I really need to force myself to get into the spirit. Today, carved the Mario pumpkin. We'll show that off later for you guys. But I figured this is a gaming channel. We also have been really into horror lately. So why don't we talk about some horror games? Let's have a marvelous marriage of those two things together. So I wanted to take some of my favorite horror-themed games and then take some of the runner-ups, maybe some games that I haven't had time to finish or gotten into as much, and then we'll talk about those too. My recording device was not working for my PS3 capture, so I couldn't get any PS3 games or PlayStation 1 games. And then my PS2 didn't want to capture Nightmare Before Christmas. We'll get into that. So the first games I want to talk about, Condemned Criminal Origins. This was a launch title for the 360. It's also available on PC. I recommend the PC version. It definitely runs better than this, but that does not mean this version is bad. Looks wonderful for a launch game, and it's very atmospheric. You take on the role of Ethan Thomas, an FBI agent who was framed for murder. Takes on a lot of supernatural elements, and he learns a lot about himself and some family secrets as things go on. This is been in my top 10 favorite games list. It's kind of booted out in the last couple of years, but I mean, for a decade solid, this game was there. I've been playing Condemned for well over 10 years now. I've been playing this basically since it came out. One of my favorite games ever, and it might be my favorite horror game of all time, just because of the nostalgia that's attached to it. But there was a sequel, Condemned 2 Bloodshot, and it expands upon the first game. There's a little bit more gun combat in this, still atmospheric, but not so much focus on melee. But the story does take a different twist and turn in this one, and there's more expansion. Really good game, much darker and much grittier. Definitely deserved its M rating. And this game had an awesome online mode where you would like hide a head in a cooler, and like the FBI and then the mutants or the like the freaks, the meth heads that invade the city would try to hide the head from the agents, and it was just it was a crazy online mode. Really fun time with this game. I mean, you can blow up meth labs, you can get drunk, and then you go fight the mutants in this city. Really good game. It's not as good as the first one. I would give the second one a definite 1.5 above, but good sequel, and I really would like to see a third one. That would be awesome. So this was the game that for some reason didn't want to record on my PS2. I put in a random game, like I put in Harry Potter, and that recorded just fine, but this didn't. I don't know why. But this is Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. This has to be one of the best, if not the best, movie licensed game of all time, because in a lot of ways, this is a full-fledged sequel that we never got to the Nightmare Before Christmas. Oogie is back and trying to take over Halloween Town, and this game runs on the Devil May Cry engine. This game is phenomenal. Every boss battle has a song. Most of the people have reprised their roles in this, and the ones who haven't do have pretty good voice doubles. Show you the back of the box. I don't get to show you any gameplay for this one, but this is a really good follow-up, and it's only in game form. It's on PS2 and Xbox, and this is called Oogie's Revenge, but on the Game Boy Advance, there's Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack the Pumpkin King, which is a side-scrolling Nightmare Before Christmas game. I think it might be a prequel on the Game Boy Advance, and I haven't tried it out. Would definitely love to. Totally on my radar. And you guys got to try this one. And hey, this is good from October until December, so give this one a go. So these ones I'm just kind of going to group together because of the sequel and the remake on the 3DS, and that is at Luigi's Mansion. I did not play this one back in the day, believe it or not. I owned a copy of it, and I played it, but I never beat it. So, I mean, I played it, but I got into the series with this one. I really got into 3DS for a couple of years, back in 2016. Really loved this system. But Luigi's Mansion was such a cute, funny, artsy way to show off Luigi's personality. It's an adorable game, and believe it or not, there was like 2 times where there was like a little phony jump scare that made me go, it didn't scare me, but it got me for a kiddie game. I cannot wait for the sequel on the Switch. You guys know we love Nintendo Switch over here. Love these games, so why not? Bread and butter. They're fantastic, and these are a good in between, right? Because they have that spooky atmosphere. You can go exploring, haunting around. But it is really cutesy. Very, very good games. Great series, Nintendo. Sticking with the portable nature of things, the PSP is my favorite handheld of all time, believe it or not. I absolutely love that system. Back when I got that in '05, I thought I had like the Cadillac of game systems. And there were some pretty decent horror games on there. This game came out for the PS2 as well. This is Silent Hill Origins. Pretty cool again. Very atmospheric. The frame rate for this, I did not know it ran as smooth as it did. It almost looks like it's 60 frames, and I was recording the gameplay here. Definitely leagues above the PS1. I would play this game on the PSP. Doesn't look as good on the PS2, blown up on such a huge screen. But for a portable, this is really good. This is one of my first horror atmospheric experiences with games where back in the day you couldn't plug headphones into your TV, right? So when I had the PSP and I was able to plug headphones into that and play this with the volume cranked up at night, as a kid, this game really was scary. It hasn't held up as much since I've been going back replaying it a little bit, but on the PSP, it's definitely worth a go. And if we're going to keep in the theme of Halloween, now this isn't necessarily a horror game, but Dracula, bitches, okay? We love Castlevania. I absolutely love the PSP version. You get Richter Belmont in this one, and you can actually unlock Symphony of the Night if you beat the whole game on this. So you get 2 for the price of 1, an incentive to beat the game, and it does look really good, and it's right at home on PSP. Controls phenomenal, really good game, and not one that many people talk about in the series, but for Halloween theme, we're gonna have to go with that. So another game that has to do with Sierra and Monolith is Fear. First Encounter Assault Recon. Now, I'm sure Condemn's more of a hidden gem series. A lot of people know about this because it spawned 3 games plus a lot of DLC. But this is one of the first horror games where it was a full-fledged first-person shooter with a lot of horror elements. As a kid, I'm thinking about middle school when this game came out, and I played it for the 360. Don't buy the PS3 version. This is just the one that I have on hand to play. Again, I'd recommend the PC version. Any PC nowadays can play it. It's just pretty much a given fact at this point. But this game has the mechanics that you want for action, but the story and the horror of a dedicated, scary game. Another one I recommend. Haven't played it in a long time. It's been a really long time. But going back and trying to record some of this footage, I really got into Condemned again. But my PS3 was not working today for capture, so I unfortunately could not get any footage for that. Another one where the footage wasn't working, but trust me, this is a good one. This is Alien Trilogy. Now, a lot of you guys love the Alien movies. I'm a big fan of the first one. Other ones, maybe not so much. But Alien 1 is a fantastic movie, and the game is Doom. It's a Doom clone set in outer space. You got the Xenomorph chasing after you. You got all 3 movies in here. This is another atmospheric game, and for having that 16 to 32-bit art style, kind of works out in its favor because your imagination fills in the gaps as you play the game. Very dark. It's pretty gritty. It's also a very hard game. I do not feel bad using cheat codes with this one. Now, these are more aligned to the first-person shooter genre, but they do have some really interesting horror sci-fi elements, and that's going to be the first 2 games in the BioShock series, more so BioShock 1. I remember granted I was in middle school at the time when this game came out. I would say if Ayn Rand met like the Twilight Zone, those are the scenarios you're going to get out of this game with this utopian society. Just to see the degradation of the splicers and the community as a whole over time in Rapture through the audio diaries and having your decisions to either harvest or to save the little sisters in this game, it was just phenomenal. And again, the second game does hold some of that merit, but the first one does seem like a horror sci-fi shooter hybrid, and I totally recommend those games. Other games that I actually haven't got to finish yet, but are on my radar. I have a habit of buying games and not finishing some of them. I've played like maybe the first quarter of Resident Evil 7, and I gotta say, this game is gritty, it is balls to the wall, and with headphones in, this is some scary shit. I am telling you what, ever since Sony and Microsoft had the headphone jack at the bottom of the controllers, horror games are like at a new level, because that surround sound in your headphones in a game at night, I mean, I can watch any horror movie and not care. I think we're almost all at that point. But a scary game, the interactivity of that sends shivers down my spine. Absolutely love it. And this game, mark my words, I'm going to finish it this month. I mean, we got like, what, less than a week and a half? Now, this game is not that good if you play it alone. But if you play it with a friend, it does make for some real hectic multiplayer action. All co-op, love it. It's not competitive. That's the way it should be, and you got to work together to defeat more zombies. I mean, it's exactly what you think it is, but it just works. It's not Resident Evil 6, and it's better for it. Still not step in the right direction, but hopefully this is going to redeem everything once I finally finish it. But guys, I just wanted to make a video talking about some of my favorite horror games. Hopefully some of these recommendations you are going to give a shot, and if you have some horror games you want other people to check out or me to check out, why don't you just leave it in the comment section down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time out of your day for watching. Take care, and happy haunting.